If you have an anxious attachment style and are with a partner with a more avoidant attachment style, it might look like your partner is not growing, your partner doesn't care about the relationship. Because if you have an anxious attachment style, meaning you are someone who needs more assurance, a little bit more insecure, are very anxious in your relationship, really want quality time, deep emotional closeness with your partner versus your partner, the avoidant attached person, they need more space as well to feel safe in the relationship. They have a completely different love language. And often it can really clash. You are going at the problem, and it often looks like you caring versus your partner doesn't care because you are bringing up the hard conversations. You want to talk it through in the moment when something happens, and the more you go at it, at the problem towards your partner, talking about the relationship, the more they shut down, the more they pull away. So you replay every conversation in your head, think about your relationship for hours and hours, and always come to the worst case solution, and that your partner in the end, they just don't care. They just don't put you as a priority because you are the one putting in emotionally and physically all the effort in. You're always prioritizing your partner, and he or she or they, nothing. They don't want to talk about the problem. They are shutting down. They rather want to have a fun day. They want to have a laugh. They're ignoring it. They're brushing it off. So I want to talk about today 2 different ways. What are your signs of growth in becoming more secure versus what your partner is doing, signs they're actually moving into a secure attachment style without actually you noticing? Because for an anxious attachment style, the work is really going 150% at 200 miles an hour at the problem again, at the relationship. And you're trying to often fix yourself in a really forceful way from a place of, I'm not good enough, I'm not lovable, there's something wrong with me, let me fix myself and fix the relationship so I won't be rejected, I won't be abandoned because I'm not safe otherwise. I'm not safe without my partner, without this relationship. So you are driven actually by fear, by anxiety, versus your partner is actually also driven by fear, anxiety, not feeling safe, but that pushes him into having more of a need of space and independence versus you, it pushes you into dependence. So the more you understand about this dynamic, the more it will help you to either grow closer in a connection with your partner, or eventually you realize, okay, maybe your partner isn't able to build the capacity for themselves. And by the time you have created so much more of a secure attachment style that you will then be able to move on. So let's talk about the differences. By the way, I'm Yula. I'm an anxious to secure coach because I used to have an anxious attachment style. Now I've created an secure attachment style, and it shifted not just my romantic relationships in a massive amount, but also the way I approach relationships in general. It changed my career. It changed just my well-being in general. So here are the signs. This is you, this is anxious you, and then this is your partner. And the first bucket we want to look at are the emotions. So how are you right now showing up in the emotional side of things versus your partner? A sign that you are growing as you are able to self-soothe now versus your partner. If they are able to grow into more secure attachment style, they are able to co-regulate. So what do I mean with this? First, if you have an anxious attachment style, you're overly relying on your partner to co-regulate. So your strength is really to feel calm with your partner, with this really deep connection. And it doesn't mean you have to have a hug or you have reassuring words from your partner. It can be just sitting close to each other and just knowing everything will be okay, just in their presence. So that was something that you are really good at is co-regulation thing. However, you overly dependent on that. Signs of you healing is that you're actually learning to self-soothe, meaning you're going to be okay also without your partner being close or giving you reassurance or physical intimacy. That can be just by sitting with your emotions, reassuring yourself, allowing the emotions to be there. There are so many somatic tools that you can apply and do that with, or cognitive reframes as well. Realizing you are in charge of your emotions and no one else. And for your partner, again, it's the opposite. Your partner has learned the avoidant attachment style that connection isn't safe. So they often feel really stressed around people, even people they do love. So signs of your partner actually creating more secure attachment style is, hey, they're able to have the capacity to co-regulate, meaning they feel safer around you, around closer people. That is one sign. So maybe they stay present longer with you, or even they're cuddling a little bit longer with you, without shutting down or without getting completely like trapped, and maybe needing a little bit less space for themselves, less shutting down. Then the second part is about beliefs and core wounds. These are the things we have developed when we are younger. These are happening subconsciously. Beliefs that we developed through our parents' behaviors and messages, things that have been repeatedly, basically ingrained into us, and thoughts we're now thinking over and over and over again, and we will find to be true all the time. For example, core belief for anxious attachment are, I have to get validation from other people, or I'm not lovable, or I'm not good enough, or there's something wrong with me if people reject me, or if people break up with me, then I'm not okay. So a sign that you, anxious attachment, is healing is that, what did I write here? That you know you will feel worthy without constant validation or quality time or affirmation from your partner. Because before you had this core wound of, I'm only safe, I'm only lovable, I'm only worthy with connection with my partner when I'm in a relationship. But once you rewire this, challenge this, and create proof that you can be okay without external proof and external words and actions, then you shift into a more secure attachment style. Then you have really managed to change this massive belief about yourself, and then you're able to align, actions with this. And for an avoidant attachment, you can see they have started really massively shift into a more secure attachment style. Yeah. So once they have rewired their beliefs that knowing connection can be safe, and they won't lose themselves in the relationship and with emotions and with being vulnerable, because their beliefs and limiting beliefs was, okay, emotions are unsafe. Being vulnerable is very unsafe. And being in the relationships is very safe. So I have to really strive for independence, freedom, adventure, or escape somehow, or need so much quality time by myself alone that I then can breathe. Otherwise, relationships are not safe. I can't get my need met in there because either I'm not listened to, I'm always criticized, I'm bad. So once they have shifted this is massive for them. Again, for it's really always the opposite, right? For the anxious attachment, they only feel safe in connection with their partner, with deep connection, versus the avoidant is exactly the opposite. They need to learn people are safe. It is safe to open up. It is safe to be in a connection with people. And by the way, both have a deep down a fear of people will leave me, even the avoidant. That's why they never even truly open up. They never truly be vulnerable, because they're always fearing deep down they will be abandoned and they will be left. But for the avoidant is much more subconscious. Like they actually often truly don't even know that they have this fear. They just know they have to build up this wall, because from childhood they have learned I'm always being criticized. Nobody really cares about what I truly want. My parents always know best. My emotions were always invalidated. I was always criticized when I was falling down, when I was cutting myself, when I was hurting myself. I was being told, oh, it's not a big deal, or men don't cry, things like this repeatedly. And then needs. Needs is another big section. So for yourself, you were realizing once you become more securely attached is like, I'm able to meet my needs independently, again, without my partner, able to fill my own cup, no matter if it's through safety. Safety is a big core need of yours. Or you were able to go after your own hobbies. You can plan your weekend by yourself first without asking your partner first what they want to do. You can think about your career first and without always just waiting for your partner to make actions and decisions. And you're able to really identify what are my needs? How am I feeling? How am I actually self-abandoning right now? Maybe instead of always going to your partner and saying, oh, you never really recognize, what I'm doing in the household. You never even give me a compliment. Maybe your need is not necessarily that your partner does more in the household because he's really busy at work and you are much more at home. So for you, it's completely fine to do a little bit more in the household, but at least you want recognition. So it has to start with you first. You need to be able to recognize your own effort and appreciate yourself. And then later saying, hey, babe, I would really love it if you, just appreciate what I'm doing here. And then maybe he also would love to have a bit appreciation for the hard work because maybe he is more the one who brings in the financial heaviness and, pays more the bills versus you are actually ones who are really making the home holy. Who knows? But everything, it has to start with you first. If you want love and connection, you have to fill your bucket first of love of connection. If you completely abandon your own needs when you're completely exhausted all day and never really check in with yourself, how you're actually doing. Do you need a break? Do you need help in the household? Do you actually need to do all of the things that you have put on your to-do list, or are you actually having way too high standards? Then you will always just feel like, okay, you will build up resentment towards your partner because you might even think, okay, he should read your mind. You're not able to speak your needs, and all of these high standards you project on your partner versus you can't even meet them yourself. Because of very typical that anxious attachment builds these high standards as a way of protecting yourself. You think, I can only feel safe and okay and relaxed once all of these standards are met, but they're unrelentingly high. No one can ever meet them. You can't meet them for yourself. Your partner can't meet them, and you're always going to be really unfulfilled. And anxiety wants to control things. They want to control other people, how much reassurance we get, how clean the house is, how we look, how much we work out, how much money we make. It always wants to control things. And the more you relax into your feminine side or into your, secure, attached version of yourself, you realize, okay, you know what? I am safe right now. I have everything that I need right now. Everything else is an addition. I don't need to tell my partner he needs to empty the dishwasher by 4 o'clock or do it in a certain way. It's okay that he does it. I don't have to remind him 5 times a day. That is good enough. And for your partner in that section, in the needs section, a sign that they're moving into a secure attachment style and they're actually growing, without you might be realizing, is they're able to meet their needs also in a relationship. So this starts by them actually first realizing what they need. It's a little bit like anxious attachment. Often you don't even know, first of all, what your needs are, because avoidant attachment style, it's not necessarily their self-abandon. They do put themselves very much first as a way to protecting themselves, but they often have this massive fear that if I speak up in the relationship, I will get criticized it's not safe to speak up because anxious attachment does often come with this intensity towards the avoidant attachment style. And I used to be guilty of this too. For example, when my partner used to stop smoking and eventually he started smoking again, I was like, how dare you? You didn't say anything to me as well. You kind of kept it a secret, or maybe not a secret, but you didn't mention it to me again. And in the end, he was like, yeah, because I know you didn't like it and you would judge me for it. And all of that was true. On top of that, my reaction was really strong towards him. And I realized, yeah, okay, damn, I am doing that as well. Like, if you want your partner to be able to express their needs, to be open up about things, even if they're uncomfortable for you, even if you wish they were perfect, they wouldn't smoke, they would eat healthy, they would do their work hours, they were, open up vulnerable to you, and they would do all of these things perfectly, then you can't attack them for them. If they're open up, if they express their needs, you have to meet them with a level that is, safe for them. These were some shifts. You realize, hey, you know what, this is how you shifting into a secure attachment style. And some shifts, you realize, hey, actually, your avoidant partner is moving also into a secure attachment style, but in their way. Because again, they have their different core wounds and beliefs and ways they have to work through, just as you do. And if you are right now, anxiously attached, spiraling when your partner pulls away because they do need a lot more space than you, because this is how they feel safe. They will always need more independence, more autonomy, more freedom than you. I have created this massive workbook for you, which is only 27 euros, which you can grab on the link below underneath the podcast and YouTube to really get started. This is not just reading, not just awareness. This is also, or mostly, to work through things, to create some awareness. But then it's like a 4-step protocol. I call it the Secure Woman Protocol, to shift into a more secure attachment style, working through this trigger of, he is pulling away from me right now. He's shutting down. He needs more space, and you're freaking the hell out. Your body, your nervous system state is into like, oh my God, I want to chase. I want to do something. I can't relax. I can't focus on anything I'm doing right now. You're freaking out, basically. You want to talk about it. You want to, I don't know. And even if you're able to not talk through it, not able to, at least you're able to, sit there and not trying to change your partner's mind, you're still uneasy. So this protocol is the exact step to regulate your emotions, to challenge these limiting beliefs that come up of, hey, is he rejecting me? He doesn't like me. What does this mean for, my self-worth? Of, am I too much? Am I not good enough? To really work through these things. And it will rewire your anxious attachment within 21 days. And the more often you apply these 4 steps that I'm going to give you, the more you will literally heal into your secure attachment style. So grab this as a great starter tool. And yeah, I'm so happy you're doing the work. I'm so proud of you. And remember, change in your relationship starts with you, thought by thought, action by action, and episode by episode. Lots of love, Yula.